guys, JKIRK, back here with another YouTube video. We got a little bit of a different video today, on the road to 500 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe, turn on that bell. It's free, doesn't hurt anyone. You can always turn it off whenever you want. Today we're going to be going over some tips that help me lose weight, some training tips as well, training for aesthetics, how I train for aesthetics. I know it's not like the politically correct way to train. Some people agree with me, some people don't. You know, it's up to you. You can train how you want, but this is how I train. This is what I do. I'm gonna start from the beginning. So obviously I'm gonna go over the basics of caloric intake and how to lose fat. So basically what caloric intake is, it is where you find out how much calories you put into your body to not lose any weight and to not gain any weight, your maintenance level of calories, which you can do this by tracking your calories and seeing how much you can eat without going up in weight. You weigh yourself in the morning because that is the best time to weigh yourself. Your body's it's always really going to be the same when you wake up. Once you find your maintenance level of calories, then you're going to want to get into a caloric deficit. Basically, what a caloric deficit is it is a deficit from your maintenance calories, and you want to do between 100 to 300 of a deficit, so 100 to 300 less calories. That is probably going to average out around a fat of loss per week. Now you want this slow progression loss, because if you go into the cut way too fast, your hormones and metabolism will be all jacked up, and basically you'll lose weight, but then you'll go into a plateau where you can't do anything because you're cutting way too much and you basically can't eat. Long story short, you're going to want to keep your calorie deficit to 100 to 300 calories. That is the basic 101. Everyone preaches this if you want to lose weight. I have recently discovered how to lose weight and put on muscle at the same time. Everyone wants to know how to do this. There's no really scientific proven way to do this. So basically you're going to want to put your body in a caloric deficit, obviously. But at the same time, you're going to want to keep your protein high, because protein builds your muscle, or gives your muscles nutrients after you break it down to build them up even stronger, aka that's how they get bigger. You're going to want to be at a caloric deficit and keep your protein intake high. So what's high? Like, what's a reasonable number? So you're probably going to want to eat a little bit above how much you weigh. So you're probably going to want to eat, if you weigh 180 pounds, you're probably going to want to eat like 185 grams of protein. So you want to eat a gram of protein per body weight. That's what I would recommend. And that is how you can lose muscle and build fat. Because obviously you'll be hitting the gym, you'll be gaining muscle. So that is the rundown of losing weight and build muscle at the same time. Some people ask how I should be training, does weight matter, all of this. So I train not conventionally. So what I do when I go in the gym, an exhaust movement, pre-exhaust movement. So basically what this is let's just say I'm training chest. I'll probably do some cable flies or some pec decks to get my blood pumping. Now this is called a pre-exhaust because it gets the blood into the muscle and it pre-exhausts the muscle. So that way when you go into your compound movement, you can feel your muscle moving. Now this leads us into mind-muscle connection, which is how everyone should train. You should train by feeling the blood go into the muscle with your mind. Now this allows the muscle to get broken down. It also allows you to understand that you're training that muscle and you're not training something else. Because let's say, I don't know, I'm doing bench press and you really don't feel anything in the chest and you feel it in the front delts. Well, what do you think you're training? Your chest or your front delts? Nah, you're probably training your front delts. Whereas if you did a pre-exhaust movement and you got the blood flowing, you go into your first rep and you're like, oh, my chest is kind of pumped, and then you start feeling it in your chest a lot more. That is that for training. I train with mind-muscle connection, train by pre-exhausting. Also, people ask if you should train heavy. You want to train as heavy as you can until your form starts lacking. So basically what I mean by this, let's say you can do, you're on squat and you're going down for your squat, you get 2 plates easy. Boom, you load on the 3 plates and your knees start to cave in. Well, your form is lacking, so you probably shouldn't do 3 plates anymore. You should probably lower the weight, probably go to 2 plates and 25 on each side, and see how your form is there. You want to go as high in weights as you can without your form lacking. That's what I mean by that, because if you're training with horrible form, you're just wasting everyone's time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the weight's time. I mean, come on now. Form over everything. That's what I'm trying to say. Form over everything. So, a little recap of what we learned. We learned what a caloric deficit is, and you want to use or have a deficit of 1 to 300 calories under your maintenance. We learned what your maintenance calories are, how I train using pre-exhaustion, mind-muscle connection, and correct form. You want to make sure that it's not lacking. The mind-muscle connection, you want to use your mind when you lift, feel the muscle moving. Pre-exhaustion is where basically before you go into any compound movement, you do a little movement to get the blood pumping into the muscle. So that is basically what I have learned when lifting weights, what I've learned for training for aesthetics, what I've learned from losing weight, and also the best way to lose weight and gain muscle. And again, if you disagree with any of this, please comment down below what you disagree with and why you disagree with it. I'm always down to learn something. I'm never objective to not learning anything. This is just what I have learned through training over the years that I have trained, and this is how I train, and you know, this is how I wanted to help people, was by teaching them the way that I train. So I'm not going to sit here and say that all of this is fact to build a good physique. You're just going to have to try it out and see for yourself. There's other ways that you can build a great physique. This is just what I've done to see massive improvements. I've always focused around building a good aesthetic physique, and training for aesthetics, and this is the whole concept I believe in for training for aesthetics. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the bell on for post notifications. But yeah, without further ado, y'all have a blessed one. Peace.